Hey everyone! Happy holidays to one and all. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all get what you've asked Santa for. And we are now less than 6 months away from the UFC White House card. And honestly, it's becoming a mess. It is becoming a giant shite show. And I'm willing to bet all of you. I will put money on this bet. I will bet each and every one of you, secretly, deep down inside, Dana White wishes he never agreed to any of this. That's how much of a headache this is becoming. But before we get into all the chaos, please guys, like the video, share it. Hit that subscribe button. Get friends of yours to subscribe to the channel. And down below in the comment section, you tell me what you think is going to go down on June 14th. Now, the card is on June 14th, which if you check your calendars, it's a Sunday, not a Saturday. June 14th is Donald Trump's 80th birthday. And yes, you know what? The card celebrates, the 250th birthday of the country. But let's be real. That's, even though the United States didn't get its independence, actually on July 4th, let's be real. It's on June 14th because that is the president's birthday. And there's a saying in sports that goes like this: don't ever give your opponent bulletin board material. And whether you like Don or you don't like Don, this is going to give the left just so much more material. Okay? And honestly, he can't keep affording to give so much material to those on the left. They're going to say Don's a dictator, that he wants to be a king, because, look, the UFC cards are Saturday nights, not Sunday, and all of a sudden now it's on a Sunday, because it's on Don's birthday. There's other things to worry about. Now, look, the UFC and Dana have been offered many times the option for an outdoor arena, and that's one thing Dana's kept his word on, is no outdoor arenas. They had the opportunity, and I guess maybe they still would, to do a card at the Roman Coliseum, and frankly, I think that would be a lot cooler than the White House. That's the home spot of gladiators, of fighting. The Roman Coliseum would be so much better. Plus, the acoustics are better. Alliance Stadium in Vegas. That would be cool. But not cooler than the White House, granted. But again, acoustically, that would be better. Now look, the WWE gets away with doing outdoor venues because WWE fans are just loud. Okay? And the fact that acoustically it holds the noise in, it's a smart move. You make it seem like there's a bigger crowd than there is. Putting the UFC on the South Lawn, okay, yes, they're building up stands, they're building up the area, but it's not like they're building a stadium for it, okay? So, any noise, and I don't think there would be any noise with who's going to be in attendance, it's not going to hold any sound in. It's going to, the sound that anybody would make is going to dissipate because, again, it's out in the open. It's not a stadium setup. Not only do you have to, no, yes, they're going to have the top put up, to cover the cage in case, God forbid, it's raining. You also have to worry about a possible humidity situation. Indoor venues control the humidity. Boxing outdoors is okay because guys are wearing boxing boots. Wrestlers are wearing wrestling boots. And yeah, I get it, some guys, fight barefoot. But in MMA, what happens if a fighter slips on the canvas, if the canvas is slick? And we all know what happens to the UFC mat once it gets all bloody on it, right? It's asking for an injury. Now, in theory, the UFC doing a card at the White House is awesome. But logistically, it's beyond a nightmare. And I kind of feel for Dana White in this case. That's why I believe deeply that secretly he really, I wouldn't say opposed to it, but I think he regrets okaying it. Okay, so who's going to be there? There's going to be under 4,000 people there on the South Lawn. Now look, and by the way, there's going to be about 5,000-ish over at the Ellipse with TV monitors. That's okay, but who's going to be on the South Lawn? It's not open to the public, okay? This is going to be all VIPs. Now, do you think Lisa Murkowski, Ashley Moody, Joni Ernst, hell, Tom Cotton or like Steve Scalise, do you think any of these politicians that will be there know anybody besides Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, or John Jones? Do you think they know anybody? No. So there's not going to be the cheering, the yelling, the screaming that there would be at a regular UFC event or even at the Apex. What the UFC would need to rely on is those watching at home, on screen, in a bar, where the production value equals what it was at the Sphere. And I think there's just going to be too many hoops to jump through. Look, Dana and Trump might be friends, but Trump is not going to tell the Secret Service, hey, he's my friend, let Dana do whatever he wants. That's not happening. Okay? Not only does everybody have to pass through background checks, but again, it's too many hoops to jump through. And look, Dana's putting on a brave face about this, but now you're getting fighters not wanting to be there. There's some that absolutely keep saying, they want to be on the White House card. It's going to be awesome. And sure, for the fighter that can pass the background check, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing. It's a once-in-a-lifetime move. But it can't be as stacked as Dana says he wants it to be stacked. Trump said he knows that it's going to be stacked. It can't be. Because what's 1 month after this card? International Fight Week. You think Dana White's going to blow up International Fight Week for this card? Maybe he would, but I highly doubt it. Now look, you can't have fighters fighting right beforehand, and you can't have fighters scheduled to fight right after. So now you're picking a very small amount of fighters. And I don't think this is going to be anything like a regular 14, 15, 16 fight card. I think if this still does happen, and I think it will happen, despite me thinking it's going to be a disaster, I think you're looking at a 10, 11, 12 at the max fight card. Now, fighters that are no-go. Brandon Royval said he wants no part of it. Word has come down now that Alex Pereira has told his team he doesn't want to be on the card. Islam Makhachev doesn't want to be on the card. And look, who knows how many of those Dagestanis could pass a background check. I don't think Ilya Topuria could get through his divorce and where he stands mentally by June 14th, so that cancels Ilya Topuria out. You know, it would be nice, Ilya Topuria against Patty or Justin Gaethje winner for undisputed lightweight. That would be nice. I don't think Ilya can be ready by then. Aspinall Cirogan 2. That would be nice to finally settle that, situation. But look, Aspinall needs surgery. He needs recovery time after surgery. And he's going to need a fight camp. I don't think you could get all that in under 6 months. That leaves a champion that arguably, even though I don't like him, is one of the better champions. One of the bigger names. One of, I guess you could call him the more exciting fighters. Khamzat Chimaev. And there is no way on this planet Khamzat can pass a background check, not being best buddies with that terrorist warlord Ramzan Kadyrov. No way. So, what do I see as a possible fight card? Because, like I said, Trump said that all the fights are going to be championship fights. And there's one slim way that can actually happen. You take the Gaethje Patty winner and you have them defend the interim lightweight strap. Now, it's not going to be against Arman Tsarukyan, because we all know Dana now has a bone up his buttocks for Arman. Do you do against Benoit Saint Denis? Oh, look, there's a storyline here. Benoit Saint Denis was in the French military, right? Okay. The French helped the United States gain their independence from Great Britain. So there is the storyline. And also the fact that the French gave the United States the Statue of Liberty. So it's there. You could also have another French... Well, before I get into that one, let me say the other title fight that I think could go down. Merab against Peter Yan 3. I mean, it would be what? 7.5 months after their rematch recently? I don't mind it. They're 1-1. I would like to see a trilogy between those two. Could do it at the White House. And then you're going to have to rely on the women. Now, look, before you say women's fights are boring, Dana one time, if you remember, said there will never be women fighting in the UFC. Enter Ronda Rousey. Dana said that women will never main event a card. Women have main evented cards. So, I can see Valentina against Manon Fiorot too. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight happen. And Valentina is such a classy spokesperson, and she's so well-rounded. The fact that she speaks, 6-7 languages, I think makes her a perfect person to fight at the White House. I really do. and just the aura about her. Possibly Mackenzie Dern against Weili Zhang, if Weili Zhang wants to return to strawweight. Or you put Mackenzie Dern and you give Tatiana Suarez her title shot. And then obviously, two-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison. Her and Donna are friendly with each other. Now look, who you going to put against Kayla? It's a triangle sort of situation here. Either you can have her rematch Amanda Nunes for whatever happens coming up soon, or you have Kayla fight Juliana Pena again. Or if Amanda Nunes beats Kayla, you can even, yes, you rematch Amanda and Kayla. Or you can do Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. Or Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. Because look, Juliana Pena has been jonesing to get back in the cage with both women. So 3 women's title fights. Merab Yan trilogy. And Benoit Saint Denis for lightweight title against either interim lightweight title against Gaethje Paddy the Baddy winner. Or you could even rematch Paddy and Justin, depending how that fight goes. And there's your 5 title fights. Who else are you going to put on the card? You're going to put Colby on the card against who? Okay? You're going to have him against, what, Carlos Prates or Bilal Muhammad? Really? And have Colby get murked in front of the president? You can't do Strickland. You can't do Kevin Holland. Both who fight week press conferences would be incredible, especially Sean Strickland. You can't have those guys fighting. They're booked right before White House card. That's why it can't be, there's no way it's going to be mega loaded the way that Dana has said that it's going to be. Like I said, I don't think the production value is going to be as good. Just because it's out in the open, it's not a stadium, it's not an arena. I think Dana really regrets doing this. But he's sticking with it because of the friendship with him and Donald. You know? And the fodder, the bulletin board material, the complaining that the left is going to do, that the UFC moved their fight night from Saturday to Sunday, that Don destroyed the Oval Office to turn it into a pre-walkout gym. Well, a pre-walkout training area. You guys know what I meant. It is such a headache. You know, I'm sure no matter who fights, and look, the idea of thinking that John Jones is going to fight at the White House, forget it. Not happening. Okay, he was offered $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, and he turned it down. Now, let's say John does come to fight on the UFC White House card. Who's he going to fight? Not Aspinall. There's no need to see him and Cyril Gane again. Who's going to fight? Derek Lewis? Alexander Volkov? Come on. Especially with Alex Pereira saying he's not fighting on that card. I think, look, that 5-card main card that I think might be, the 3 women fights and interim lightweight and bantamweight. In a way, I think that might be it. Although, it would be nice to have, Bo Nickel, Joe Pfeiffer, guys like that on the card. But again, against who? This card's turning into a mess. So guys, do me a favor. Like the video, share it. You and get your friends to subscribe to this channel. Okay? It's really simple. You push the subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. It costs you nothing. It's $0. It's free. Just hit the button. I ain't asking for world peace or a cure for cancer. I'm just asking you to subscribe to the channel. And I'm also asking you to please, in the comment section, tell me what you think about this card. But it's a mess. So, until the next video, Cyclone saying happy holidays and peace out, home. Ease.